Welcome back everyone to another episode of InnovationCraft, and in this one we are going to be doing a lot of things in Spruce Town, including the castle, and I'm standing where the castle will be actually, and well, as you can see, there's been a bit of progress done in Spruce Town. Let's check it out. Starting with the nether portal, and there's now a giant sword acting as the nether portal. Nova made this, and it looks absolutely unreal. We also grinded for a netherite block. These things are really grindy to get because 4 ancient debris equals 1 netherite ingot, and then 9 netherite ingots equals 1 of these netherite blocks. So that is a very powerful villager, along with the diamond over there, the emerald, as well as the gold. You can also see in the background, Ember's base is almost completely finished. The only thing that he has left is the interior, and might I say, this looks crazy. It looks quite powerful, looming over the entirety of Spruce Town. And then the last thing, which might be one of the most major things, is we started construction of the castle, and we have been detailing this to no end. This castle has been taking forever just to do a single part because of how many different blocks and how intricate the design is. This is just like the front courtyard area. So if I kind of come up here, this is where you kind of just chill out. The inside isn't really done with all the walls, but, you know, the outside is really all that matters. There's 2 fences missing there. I gotta fix that up. And this is a very plain wall. It will be textured at some point. Right now, we're just getting kind of the outline in. We are going to just make triangle rooms. So, like, right here is going to be a pretty big room, but this is the massive room where we're going to put the Spruce Town Council meetings. So, we're going to move it from Plastic Plio's house probably into this castle. And one of these side rooms might be used for, like, a courtroom or something like that. Anywho, that is pretty much all the progress that we made in between episodes, so I think I might want to just start cleaning up this little area in the castle and maybe making a few more walls, because this castle is looking pretty bare bones right now, even though we have the style pretty much all laid out. One thing that's pretty unfortunate about the placement of this castle is it goes straight under the actual monorail. So up here, the monorail kind of just, you know, gets kind of broken into by the tip of the castle. So what I actually planned out is a bit of a curve that that goes around the castle, so it doesn't go directly over it. So and Nova just died to himself. I mean, they do say your biggest enemy is yourself, so I mean, I guess he's just portraying that there. But I'm going to take out this entire monorail section because it's not really useful to me anymore, as the castle is pretty much right where it is. And I'm going to put it on this curve right here. It's all covered with snow, just like everything around here. Everything is just snowed on. So eventually we'll string it all so there's no more snow up here. But for now, I think I'm just going to kind of start working on the monorail as well as the castle. And this is the Spruce Town banner that we decided to actually go with. It looks quite epic and it represents Spruce Town very well. So this is what we are going to be going with for future Spruce Town meetings and flags and whatever else we use in Spruce Town. It might change in the future because this is just a prototype, but it certainly looks cool. Hello, Nova. I have no idea what he's doing there. Alright. So without further ado, let's jump into a time-lapse straight away into the episode. We're just going into it and getting a bit of progress done in this castle because, well, I really don't have anything better to do right now. So I feel like getting a ton of progress done at the beginning of the episode is a really good way to go. Let's do it. And a lot of castle progress has been made. It has been an awful long time since last time I've made a clip, and man, a lot of progress has been done. Starting with the front, so let's just kind of look around here. And it already looks impressive from the front, first of all, but as you walk in, I actually made sort of an interior to this courtyard place. As you can see, there's just a bunch of trap doors. There's a bit of hidden storage back here, which I think is pretty cool. It's also on the other side as well. And then in each of these 4 pillars, there's actually a spiral staircase, so you can get up to the second layer of the courtyard looking thing. And there's snow up here. We'll fix that later. And then we have the Thanos statue with 4 diamond blocks in the shape of a wither, which is kind of funny. And then BDDL put this little touch in. Thanos throwing some magma. We have the defenders for the castle. All around here, there's just a bunch of little details that just kind of bring the whole place together with one succinct feel. On the outside, you can see that this is where most of the progress has been made during the time-lapse, was these little buildings right here. And don't worry about these pillars, we have a plan for what we're going to do with these sometime. There's a bunch of string up here, I got to get rid of all of this. This is from the Blackstone area that we kind of knocked down, because there's all the string on all of these, so there's no snow on the Blackstone, because it is an extreme hills biome. So there's snow on every single block, and we have to keep torching places and stringing it so the snow doesn't infest our entire castle. But I'm just going to keep looking at this and admiring how great it looks, because I've never built anything like this. The inside looks really not good at all. But moving on from that, we can just admire the outside for now, until we actually get an interior going on. I really enjoy building the style, because it's a bunch of little details for one massive build. My personal favorite spot to look at it is when I started this clip. Right here, if I zoom in, you can see the entire castle in its pretty much complete form. All we have to do is the main room, and then finish up these little towers back there with a kind of cone-shaped top. And then the castle will be done and ready for the interior. I'm super excited for that. Another thing that I want to actually note is the monorail. I completely took it out from the thing going in front of the castle. What we're going to do instead is actually curve it behind the castle so it doesn't get in the way of the feel of the front. And I just kind of took out all the pillars so now there's not lines going up and down the castle, which I think looks a lot better in the end. Alright, and you may have noticed this giant beacon just going straight from there, and you may be wondering, well, there goes Song just flying out of that hole. I was not expecting that. That was not planned at all. That was hilarious, actually. But this hole is finally where I'm going to put my storage system. As you can see, my inventory is always full. So when I throw stuff out, it looks very messy. This is my inventory, basically. It is always full, and I don't really sort stuff. It is a major problem. If I take a quick look in my ender chest, you can see all these shulker boxes full of complete junk. I really need a solution to it, and so does everyone else in Spruce Town. So we're finally making an automated storage system, and we are labeling it the acronym CASS, which stands for, well, it's CASS, and it stands for Centralized Automated Storage System. We decided this in a meeting that we should probably build one of these because, you know, it'll be pretty nice to just dump our shulker boxes into one kind of input chest and it'll all get sorted. So down here is where we're starting to dig. It is quite the area. There's a bit of building here from other people on the server already, but the room is here, and it's not just going to look like this. We're obviously going to decorate it and put a little bit of interior on it, but for now, we're just digging out this giant area, and then we're going to dig it out also like 10 blocks, or not 10 blocks, but like 50 blocks in each direction. So we're planning on having 4 main hallways for 4 different like storage system things, so maybe we can have like items over there, end and nether blocks over here, like basic building blocks, and maybe like bulk storage or something like that. Some way to break up the storage system. What we're planning on doing is actually sorting every single block in the game, because then nothing's actually going to get like clogged in the system or anything like that. So it's going to be really exciting actually making this giant storage system, because then finally I can just dump all my stuff into one input chest and there it all goes sorting itself automatically, which is super cool, and I'm very glad that we're finally getting on this. There's a lot of digging ahead of me, and I think I'm going to have to keep helping my friends here dig away. So a little bit of progress is going to be made. I might do a progress update, or I'm going to do something like a time lapse. I guess we'll find out. If it's a cut, I did a progress update. If it's a time lapse, well, then you know I did a time lapse. Well, whatever I choose to do, let's get straight into it. I decided to do a mix between a time lapse and a cut, and this is the outcome of the product. So I'm going to do a little bit of a voiceover about how I feel about the storage system, because it is quite the grindy project. We need to dig out a 100 by 100 area just to get this whole thing completely figured out and have enough space to store all 900-ish items in Minecraft. We made a blueprint on a different creative server as well to see what the storage system should actually look like when it's complete, and I might show that later in the episode. But for now, let's just hop back over and see the progress that has been done between clips. And now the hole is like twice as big. Oh my goodness, this has been quite the grind so far. And we're not even done with the hole. So we have the central section. I think what we're going to do is make the beacon the exact center of the storage system. And then it goes out, I believe, like 50 blocks on each side. So then it's a 100 by 100 hole. And as you can see, this side is not 50 blocks. This one is, and that one is. So we're about 3/4 of the way done with all the digging that we have to do, but we still have one more giant side that we have to push back by 30 whole blocks. So I think for this one, we're gonna have to kind of dodge all of the nether areas stuff, because there are some nether rooms and whatnot in there, so we're gonna have to kind of go around that. But I think I might actually do a time lapse for this one, because it will be quite satisfying seeing all of the stone just turn to air. But this has been quite the grind, so I want to thank 2Nova for actually, giving me this pickaxe, because during it, I actually broke my netherite pickaxe. So he gave me a diamond pickaxe, and then I have an extra netherite ingot that I used to upgrade it back to netherite. And I should probably go repair it, because my pickaxes are very prone to breaking without my knowing. So, yeah, it's been what it is. I died a few times because there's a lot of mobs that spawn. And there's like a torch matrix on the ground, and I just saw a glitch in the matrix right here. Get that out of here. But there's literally like a torch matrix. This looks insane. Everywhere you look, there's just lines of torches lining up everywhere. This is cool. I really love this torch layout and this giant room right here. Eventually we'll make the entire 100 by 100, and then we'll store every single item in the game. So that I'm really looking forward to, because I'm still really messy. And as you can see, these chests right here is actually what we've been collecting as we go. And they're all like completely full of just random resources, because we just kind of fill it up. I believe these top ones aren't quite full yet, but some of them are, like that one. And all the bottom ones are completely filled up with random bits and pieces from underground. And I did the calculations, and we are mining 200,000 blocks in this one single area, which is crazy, but we still have to go swinging our pickaxes and making progress. So I suppose I should probably just start mining out this area right here. Let's go do it. And it has been about a week since we started this digging project, and we have completely mined out the 200,000 blocks required. And oh my goodness, was this a project and a half. We completely filled all of these chests, as you saw in the previous clip, and we mined out this whole chunk of land right here. There's the nether area that we are just kind of busting into the bottom of, but but that is not the point of this. The point of this is to build a storage system. And well, there isn't much of a storage system here, just a storage mess. And this is exactly why we need a storage system. We absolutely suck at organizing our stuff. So the sooner we get in the storage system, the better. And man, I am really tired of swinging my pickaxe, but it is all done now, and you can see all the torches have been laid out. The time lapse only got the bottom section of that. I apologize for that, because two of the other people, Song of Chaos and Plastic Pleo, just completely mined out the top half of that when I was offline of the server. So you got to see the bottom part being mined, as well as the torches being placed. But that is all that I want to do in the storage system for today. I've been designing the redstone in a creative testing world, and it has been looking good. My plan is to have a sort of tiered system. So maybe something like 3 chests down here, and then it would go in a little bit, and then it would be 2 chests, and then go in, and then just 1 chest. So then it will obviously be a lot bigger than this, but it'll be a giant archway in the room, and then there'll be 4 hallways going in each of the 4 cardinal directions, and then there'll be 6, because you'd mirror this on the other side as well, 6 kind of items that you can store per 1 layer. So like in just 1 solid line, you can store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. And because there's going to be 3 double chests down here and 2 there and then 1 there, it kind of works out where you can have the items that you use more of down here, the items that you use a bit less, and then the smallest items like dyes or flowers or things that you barely ever use, you can put on the top. And then on the very back of each hallway, there's going to be 1 bulk storage. So it's going to be about 50 double chests that you can use for something like stone or dirt, or something that you're going to be using a ton of and need a lot of storage for. So that is our plan for the storage system. I still need to figure out all of the items and where they're all going to go and the organization of them. But the overall flow has been decided already. And the room is looking absolutely gigantic, and I'm super excited to finally start working on this project. But that is going to have to happen at a later date. For now, I want to show you a bit of progress that has been happening at the industrial district. So let's head on through the portal and show what we have been working on, and the castle up there looking all mighty over the hill. All right, let's go. So the first thing that I want to address is our storage system, and I had to expand all these items out because, well, the gunpowder was filling rather quickly, and I needed to allot a lot more space. A lot. Yep, that's exactly what I said. It kind of is a play on words in that way. And as well as the sugarcane, it just needed a ton more space to actually store all of the items that we were getting. Speaking of sugarcane, Song of Chaos has been hard at work, and he probably still is around here somewhere, working on this sugarcane farm, and he has basically doubled the size and is really smart about the redstone here. So what we have it going is there's 2 observers per row. Let's see if I can find the observers. This top row is incomplete right here, and it detects when just 1 sugarcane is fully grown, and then it sends out a signal behind the back and then shoots out these slime blocks to actually go down and collect into this system. And then on the other side here, what Song did way down there, he's just running around, is actually tie that exact same 2 observers, so we don't need 2 extra observers, just into the same redstone line. So these 2 observers, instead of being over there and over here, are just leading into 2 different pistons. So once 1 sugarcane gets detected, it actually shoots out 2 different modules instead of just the 1, which I think is a very good way of actually rationing the redstone. There's 2 other farms that I actually want to show, and one is being made by BDDL, and there's a lot of mobs falling right now. That is a crazy kind of gunpowder farm. I'm super happy about it. Is this thing. We are making a villager breeder and then tying it into a carrot farm. So that should be able to suffice for all of our villager needs that we're going to do, because I am planning on making an absolutely gigantic trader hall in this industrial district, so we can trade for every single thing in the game. And you may notice this giant thing up there. That is the second farm. 2Nova is building a wandering trader farm, and actually there's one right there. I kind of did not expect that. Let's see what he has to trade. Ooh, a bunch of heads and a lit redstone lamp. That is interesting. Yeah, lots of different blocks, but 2Nova is interested in these micro blocks right here. The micro blocks is what we're going to use to actually show what is in our storage system. So he's collecting every single micro block in the game, and then we're going to tie it all into our storage system. So he's been collecting it for a couple of weeks now, and he just now decided, you know what, we should probably make a wandering trader farm. And this is his own design, so we're not too sure if it's going to work, but I believe in him. I think it will. Alright, well, I'm going to start working on this sugarcane farm and helping Song of Chaos out a little bit, building it up a bit more. And just like that, it has been completed. Both sides have actually been completely filled with sugarcane, and it looks like that one is not exactly working. Those 2 modules might be broken, but that's beside the point. Actually, maybe it just didn't grow. Because what we did, I would explain this, with the observers going on both sides, sometimes one side can just be completely grown and the other one's just not wanting to grow. That is definitely a possibility of what is happening. But as you can see down there, Song of Chaos is over there building quite the farm, and he's building a melon and pumpkin farm, because once we get villagers, we're going to need something to trade with, and we have a bunch of string for wool and stuff, but actually I don't know if you can trade wool for I don't know. We have things to trade, basically. But he's making pumpkins and melons, because that is a pretty smart choice. Whoops, I almost just completely destroyed his crop field right there. And yeah, we're just going to build like a giant farm, and it's going to be Mumbo Jumbo's design. And I will link the video where he builds that in the description below, if you want to check it out. He does not put a tutorial, but it is a Hermitcraft episode. I'm guessing you've seen it already, let's be honest here. But, alright, down here, I'm crawling in where the minecarts are going to go. Basically, the basis of this farm is pretty simple. If I land up here so I can get a nice bird's eye view of the place, there's going to be flying machines that go all the way around and harvest all of the pumpkins and melons just in one fell swoop. And I'm guessing we're going to tie it up to some sort of daylight sensor, so the daylight sensor can actually just dictate whenever it actually goes. So I'm just going to start a time lapse up and actually start working on this farm. Let's do it. And the pumpkin and melon farm has completely been finished. And wow, progress went super fast here. Song is a very fast worker indeed. But we got it done. And there are so many pumpkins and melons that are being produced from this thing. And how we harvest them is with these flying machines, and I think you probably saw it go by once or twice in the time lapse, but I want to show you in real time, so I'm going to start both of these flying machines, and I believe it's as simple as placing a stone block, or any block for that matter, right here. And then, while that one is harvesting all of the pumpkins over there, we can actually harvest these as well by just doing the exact same thing, and there it goes, off pushing all the slabs and compressing those melons. And then I believe all we have to do, we have a manual right now, but we can pick up all the stuff by simply flicking this lever right there. Then all of the hopper minecarts go underneath and pick up all the nice items to go into the storage system. They should all get dispensed into a storage, or into that water stream, which this one does not have it in quite yet. We just need to create these dispenser things, the dispenser clocks, and then it should perfectly dispense them into the storage system. So that is all done, and I think that is all the work I want to do in the industrial district for today. It has been a lot, like a ton of work, and we completely doubled the size of the storage system. You can see over there, there's 2 new farms that are being put in by other people on the server, and then there's these farms, which are absolutely crazy. And well, our villager setup is going to be insane with all of these producing. How much stuff they're actually producing right now. So all of the items have returned, and they should be going into this hopper stream and then ending up down here. And if I look, sure enough, the melons are all going through and landing in the storage system. And the storage system is almost overflowing with stuff. There's so much space allotted to each thing, but we might have to consider making another storage system if we get enough farms in here, because this might not even suffice. I thought for sure this would be enough storage to last like absolutely forever, but it actually is not. So that is a problem that I'm going to deal with in the future. For now, I want to actually go into a creative testing world and show you what our Spruce Town people have been working on. We've been designing the storage system that we're going to fill in that giant underground hole, and it is a beauty. Let's head on over there right now. And this is what we have in mind, a beautiful storage system that is super grand as you walk into it, with chests on all 3 sides, and not behind us, because behind us there's actually 4 modules of this thing. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of in a plus thing, and if I fly up you can see it is all automated with its redstone and everything like that. It all fits in the hole, and it is gonna be a beauty. This is not a final room in here. We're experimenting with things like that, but I believe we have a pretty good idea of what to do in here. There's gonna be 3 layers, and we're gonna organize our stuff like this. We're gonna put all of our blocks on the top, and then it should sort beautifully into what we have allotted, and you'll be able to see it from anywhere. So we have 3 layers on both of the walls, and then bulk storage is going to be on back. So maybe all of these chests can be for like stone, and then all of these chests can be for dirt or something like that. And then we're going to have to figure out a way to actually divvy up the items and sort them between all 4 little modules. Or not so much little modules as absolutely giant modules, but the point stands. And there's been a lot of debating on the actual decor of this room and how it looks, but I think it turned out super good, and we made a bunch of decisions and it came out probably the best it could be. We are actually using horizontal chains in this build, and it is super cool seeing the railings because it looks like you should fall off, but actually you kind of just straight up don't. And you can fly in still. There's plenty of space to fly in. And then right here we can just break these and put what we want to store. So this is what we are actually planning on building, and it is going to be quite the project, but it has already begun. So let's just head on back over to InnovationCraft and show you all of the progress that has already been taking place in the hole. The sort of foundation layer has been complete, and we're getting the outline of the building in place. So let's head on over there and see what's happening. And here we are back in Spruce Town. It's been a few days, and 2Nova has been hard at work changing up the farms once again. They used to be wheat, and then they changed to sweet berries, and now they are back to wheat, but in a different sort of pattern. He kind of hit them in these circular wall shape things, and I really like how it turned out. They're nice little circular fields, just full of wheat, and then the diorite throne, of course, back there with 2Nova's head, because why not? And right here with this giant beacon is the well, and the well is going to be the entrance to the storage system. And if I just drop down here, we can see that progress is happening. There's so much stuff going in place, and as you can see, it is just the outline as I said before, but we have Song of Chaos and Ember working on it as we speak, and I'm going to help them real soon. And I think it might be a pretty smart idea to do sort of a time lapse of this place. So get ready, buckle up, because we are going to be getting a lot of progress done on this storage system. First of all, we actually really need to grind for wood. This takes so much wood. If you think about all the chests, each double chest takes 4 logs, and then we need to use all the logs here. It's going to be a lot of wood, but I think we can do it, so let's hop into a time lapse. And after all of that building, this room is completely finished in its plus-shaped design. It is done. And even the redstone, if you look out back, the redstone is completely in there. All we need left is the little ice water streams. So if I put like an ice block here, water streams can go on top. And there's only one problem with this place, and that is, well, it can get a bit framey because of how many chests there are. There's quite literally, I believe, over 1,000 double chests. So it gets a little, you know, framey when you try to fly, but that's alright, we can deal with it. But because that it took about 1,000 double chests, it also took like 5,000 hoppers. And because there's 5,000 hoppers, that took like 25,000 iron. Just straight up iron, 25,000. That is so much iron, and I am fresh out. My farm, my iron farm that I had running for so long is completely out of iron. So expect an iron farm to be built in the next coming episodes. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. What we're going to do is kind of lay out the blocks like this, and it looks like the other people in Spruce Town have already started doing it, and then it should just automatically sort into the systems once we have all the water streams in place. This thing is coming along like crazy. It is unreal the amount of progress that has actually gotten done in the past couple of days, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, because this is such a grand project, and man, I am super happy with how it turned out. But unfortunately, it is a super long video. I've been working on this for a couple of weeks now. But this is where I'm going to end the video for today. I've been working on this for about 2 weeks now, and I think it is time to depart. So I will see you all in the next video. See ya!